Hello everyone and welcome. Whenever we design or create a new interpretation project or a new storytelling experience, then what exactly is it we should try and aim the experience for? What are we actually trying to create the experience for? And I don't necessarily mean like our visitor groups or why are we focusing on this particular story, but more like how can we make the purpose of this experience shine through? What is the relevance of this experience? And there are two concepts that I think I always return to in whatever project or whatever experience I've been working on or trying to create, that seems to be at the core of designing experiences. And I wanted to just try and explain them and go through them. And please let me know what your experiences are around this and how you have approached this. The first concept really is the imagination. That's one of the things we are creating storytelling or interpretation for, really. It's the subconscious mind, because whenever we design for the subconscious mind, we also tend to let our guards down, the barriers come down, and we become open-minded. Whenever we are in a sort of formal learning situation, like for example in a classroom setting, or we might be visiting a place with a study group or something, we have our factual mind on. And we are simply less open-minded, we are less creative. But when we design for the imagination, that's the place where we can let go. That's the place where we store and build memories. It's the place where the guards come down. And it's also the place where we can start to create emotional links between experiences, between people, between memories. So whenever we design for the imagination, we are also designing for people's creativity. The other key concept that keeps returning is that of socialization. When we design or create experiences for socialization, we design them for sharing. And whenever we share a story, that's when it becomes real. That's when the story becomes relevant. Now, it's important to remember that socialization doesn't necessarily mean sharing with other people or people around us, because you might not be with other people. You could be having or visiting an experience on your own. You might also choose to share on social media and so on. But what socialization really means is that when you tell someone about an experience you have had, or when you use that experience or bits of that experience in your own work, your own life, maybe in your own projects, in your own creations, that's when they become real. That's when you have made them relevant. So when you take something with you from an experience, you have made it relevant. And this can happen sometimes very directly, that I've had this experience, I learned such and such, and I'm taking that with me, or I can use that in a project I'm doing or in my life or something. Or it can happen indirectly, that an experience has somehow been part of shaping your way of thinking, maybe broadening your horizon, and that is what you are taking with you. I think these two things especially are two concepts that I keep returning to in any kind of project creation or storytelling creation. And sometimes one of them might be more dominant than the other, but there are always elements of them present in any kind of storytelling experience. And I think it's because they are really key to how we as humans experience the world around us. It happens internally, it happens in our imagination and our internal narrative, and the way our brain sort of processes stories. But it also very much happens when we make those internal narratives relevant, when we share them. That's when they really become real, and when they become relevant and starts to have a purpose. So the human-driven aspect, as well as the relevance, the purpose-driven aspect, and we very much have to activate our imagination to reach those in the best possible way. I'm really curious to hear about your experience and what you think about this, how you have used this, if you agree, if you don't agree, and how you have approached this in your own experience creation. So please do share.